So welcome everybody to today's live. So I'm Loz, Antoninka, your favorite Mojo mentor, and here we have myself and the incredible Chelsey Jean from Chelsey Jean Lymphatics. It's been a while since we've done one of these before, hasn't it, Chels?
Yeah, it was exciting to see my memories pop up for this time last year, and it's like Chelsey and Loz and Oz all joining together and speaking, and here we are coming back again.
We are back, and it's so good to be back talking to you guys. Actually, it's really timely because this time last week I had no voice. So I'm going to apologize. I am going to be talking to you in the key of sexy today, and I'll just drop down an octave if you need me to. But today, what's our topic for today, Chels?
So today we are going to talk all about self-sabotage. Give you the three top advice keys that we have to avoid self-sabotage, because we all do it. We do it. Like you and I both know about it. We know it exists, and then you find yourself just doing it. It's like, oh, I'm self-sabotaging again.
Again, right?
Again. Yeah, so we're going to run through the top three. And the first one, Loz, that we spoke about was know your why. Know your purpose, know your why, and be really strong with that. And just to start off, because there are so many things happening, right? So many things. And being a woman, being like an entrepreneur, having businesses, having kids, having pets, doing all of those things, and then being able to stay connected to you and the purpose and your why can be really hard when you're just pulled in so many different directions to do things for others. Yeah.
And it's great that we start with this one. Actually, I just was with a client before I hopped on this live, and we were talking about a why and having a North Star and even having a vision and understanding what that is for you, because the strongest pull is that, you know, unless we know what it is that we're aiming for and the reason that we're doing things, it's really hard to remain consistent, because most of us do struggle with like the fear of success and the fear of failure, right, Chels? Like, you know, that they are huge things that are a part of modern day living. And if you're running a business, especially, or you're in a position of leadership, you've got kids, you know, your why can feel convoluted sometimes.
Yeah.
I've been told that there's lots of echoing going on. I'm gonna see if I can double on my. I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, I can't change the input, unfortunately. We're trying to go live. Am I the one that's echoing? Can I get a thumbs up if it's Loz that's echoing?
Can I move? If I move over here, then I move away from there.
I'm gonna change my input. Yeah, give me one tick. I'm gonna see if I can change my input to my AirPods. I will be back. I'm going to put it on Wi-Fi and I'm going to put my AirPods in.
It's anything when you've got one system up against another system, they don't like it.
Honestly, it's very, very frustrating.
As well as the
yeah. I'm gonna see if I can change to my AirPods. Am I still getting an echo, guys?
So it says
Chelsea's talk is okay. Okay. I think it's because I'm on AirPods I'm actually on Zoom. So I'm going to connect to my AirPods. Don't you love technical difficulties? But thank you so much for letting us know. Because I think we don't want to have echoes, because echoes suck and they make listening really, really hard. So I'm going to connect to my AirPods here.
And when we're talking about knowing your why and your purpose and like staying connected to all those things and how we self-sabotage, we might only self-sabotage in one area of our life. You might notice it might be relationships. It might be as being a parent. It might be in business. It might be in earning an income. It might be at the gym, and it definitely can be with your health. It can definitely be with your diet and looking good and feeling great. And there's a reason. There's lots of different studies about this, and we'll talk about that when we get to number 3. But definitely staying in contact with your why, your purpose, why you want to get to that goal. And everyone needs to have a purpose. Everyone needs to feel that they are contributing to the world, contributing to their self. And I think that when you lose contact with how amazing you are, you can get in that whole dull what the fuck, who cares, whatever.
Yeah. And I think this leads us to point number 2, is that we end up developing this really negative self-talk, right? Is that better? Am I still echoing everybody? Can I get some feedback, knowing if I'm echoing or not? I have no idea. So I'm going to keep talking, and if it's echoey, I'm sorry. Next time we might change the way that we do this, and we might try and stream from a single device. But that negative self-talk actually really can have a profound effect. Fucking hell. It's still echoing. It's still echoing. There's not much I can do about it at this point.
Can you just take your ears out and just talk normally?
I feel like you're going to get it through the TV, the computer. Let's see.
Thank you. Sue's our sound engineer. No, I can't hear you. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. Right.
That's okay. So this is going to be recorded anyway, and we can replay it and we can share it on our Instagram.
Damien said it fixed it. It actually got the echo off when I took my AirPods out, but then you couldn't hear me, right?
Oh, no, then I couldn't hear you. No. So maybe you can just change the input on your computer to being computer and not AirPods.
Watch this. Zoom is going nana. Audio.
So hi, everybody. If you are just joining now, we are talking all about self-sabotage and the technical issues that we can have.
Sabotage. Can you hear me now? And is it still echoing?
I can hear you great.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We need our sound engineer, Sue, on Instagram to be able to let us know.
Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about negative self-talk and how, as point number 2. So point number 1 was know your why. And so now no echoing. Mary said no echoing now.
Excellent. Now Chelsey not echoing. Okay.
Cool. That's important. So yeah, number 2 is like negative self-talk. And I think that when we talk to ourselves negatively, there is a lot of power in that in the opposite way that we want to achieve. So when we talk about things in the future and people talk about manifesting and you know, self-talk being the anchor, I find that with self-talk especially, a lot of that comes from low self-esteem. And, you know, when people aren't feeling worthy of being healthy or fit, they can do things that reinforce that. So, you know, when it comes to eating, you might be eating healthy for a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and then you decide that you're just going to go binge eat, and that turns from like a binge eating meal into a binge eating week. You know, skipping workouts, making poor decisions, or even not even doing things like showers. I know a lot of clients that will forget to have a shower when they're feeling really shit about themselves. And this is like a cycle of guilt, of self-doubt that does perpetuate and can become quite challenging to break free from these self-sabotaging patterns. Because if we're used to doing this stuff every time we succeed, it just becomes the default way of approaching success, because we are scared of success a lot of the time.
And it tends to be a slippery slope when you start going down. It does it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
One thing leads to the next quite fast. And before you know it, you've looked around and you've gone up a dress size, your skin's looking terrible, you're sitting in your pajamas more, you're not going out with your friends, and everything just seems to lower its vibration. Everything just seems to go really fast. You have to be able to catch yourself, you know, and like you said, like listening to that right voice in your head. Everyone has these voices in their heads, and it's about feeding the right one, as we know, but just catching yourself and not waiting until you end up, you know, right at the bottom and hating yourself, because you can never hate yourself healthy.
Yeah, I love that. You can't hate yourself healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. So like first one, staying connected with your why. And like, I don't know about you, Loz, but I've noticed that everyone's sort of dropped down to mediocre is okay. Like a lot of people are really dropping into mediocre is okay. No, mediocre is not okay. Like,
yep, I agree.
No, being on all these different pharmaceutical medications, thinking that you're going to get cancer anyway, like, oh, well, no.
Yeah, I think stop being average. Like, if we have the mindset that we can actually stop being average and we can start to empower ourselves to be awesome, this is the point where we choose to move from being stuck to unstoppable.
Yes. Yeah.
And we are comfort with those familiar feelings. And I find with people, they talk about, oh, you know, I've done that thing again. It's this emotional home that we live in, and it's a place that we understand. Doesn't mean that it's serving us for our greatest purpose.
Yeah.
But breaking free of those feelings of comfort and getting comfortable being outside in discomfort.
That's our number 3.
One of the most powerful things, right?
Yeah, that's our number 3. Make friends with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Make friends with being uncomfortable, because same to me is boring. I could not do same. I love change. I love new things. I love creating. So one of the things, my highest why, is I get to create. I love creating new stuff, and I love educating all about it. So I keep on, creating. And then to be stuck in the same place, like, I don't think I could think of anything worse, really. I couldn't think of anything worse to be stuck in the same place. So getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, I think that's where the magic happens. That's when you allow the universe to come in with oh, I can do that. Yay. It's like, yeah, she really wants that to happen. She's prepared to move and change for some magic to come in. And then you'll get a green light, and then you'll get a different phone call, and then something amazing will happen when you get out of your comfort zone. Do you agree?
Yeah. And I always tell my clients that the most growth in your life comes at the border of support and challenge. So right there in that sweet spot, if you're not challenged enough, you'll never grow. But if you are challenged too much and you don't have support, you'll fall over. Yeah. If you're too supported, you'll never challenge yourself. And if you're unsupported, you'll never change because it feels comfortable and familiar. So we can do hard stuff on purpose, and we can be supported by people in a community that's going to help us thrive. That's when we actually get the most growth. And it's uncomfortable for a moment, maybe a few moments, but beyond that edge of discomfort becomes incredible growth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's wonderful. And I think it just really has to start with being honest with yourself of where you are.
Agreed.
This is where I am. Acknowledge it. This is what I've done to get here. Take full responsibility, and then decide to get closer to your why. Have those barriers drawn in a little bit more, those barriers, so then, okay, this is how I'm staying on track. So when the self-talk comes in, you can grab it right there and then, because they're my boundaries are right there and then. And know that it is going to get a little bit wobbly, because you are going to get tested. The universe is going to say, hey, do you really want this to happen? And you're going to go, yes, I do.
Yeah, and a big resounding yes.
Who knows what's going to happen?
And it doesn't matter. I think it's knowing that anything can happen in the way that you want it to is the number one thing to get attached to.
Yeah. Possibilities.
Agreed. Because your health deserves to be magnificent. You deserve to be magnificent.
Yeah.
And if you're stuck in these self-sabotaging behaviors, you never even give yourself a chance to play with the possibility that this other version of you can even exist.
Yeah. And that version of you does exist.
Of course it does. You just got to
just
allow for it to. Yeah.
Amazing. Love it. Always motivating, Loz. And this is why it's important to surround yourself with people who are going to get the best out of you.
Yep, I totally agree. And if you guys need support, both Chelsey and I we work with people in groups, one-on-one, you know, and create those support mechanisms for you. Like-minded people wanting to thrive, not just survive and tack along in their life and be average.
Yeah.
So yeah, come and find us. We'll be going live once a month.
Yep.
So we're going to try and fix our tech for next time.
Yes.
Apologies if it's echoey. I'm getting the echo. But anyway, it is what it is.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Loz. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out.
On Zoom and on Insta and all of those things. Please join my Boob Camp Facebook group for lots of free info for me. And Loz, where do you want people to find you?
Yeah, I've got a community called Stuck to Unstoppable. It's on Facebook. But come and connect with me on socials.
Okay.
Come and find my social media channels. I go live quite regularly when I have a voice. I've just got a new setup now. I've got a brand new camera. So I'll be going live quite a bit and putting a bit of content out. Just this motivational stuff and really practical tips to keep people engaged with being healthy easily.
Yeah. Knowing your why, all those things. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining in. Have the best day. Bye.
Bye now.